What's up, everybody? Welcome to a PlayStation Conversation. I'm Greg, and this is the pride of Long Island, Colin Moriarty.
Beyond to you, Greg.
Beyond to you, Colin. Colin, the day has finally come. We've been waiting forever. Beyond Two Souls has a U.S. release date, October 8th. Exciting, huh?
It's very exciting.
We have no word for other territory. Sorry about that. But here's the thing I want to pull and talk about it, Colin. We talked about Beyond Two Souls when we were doing the PlayStation 4 coverage, that Beyond Two Souls was this in the ether. We didn't know where it was, right? And this is, we figured, was going to be the last hurrah for the PlayStation 3. What does the release date of October 8th mean for the PlayStation 4?
Well, I don't think PlayStation 4 will come out until after Beyond Two Souls comes out, so I'm not sure. I kind of still think PS4 comes out in November.
Yeah, that sounds straight.
The game comes out in October. I don't think it's really a big deal. I think it's a game that, like Heavy Rain, will appeal to the hardcore PlayStation fan base.
Sure.
I think it's good for a couple million, a few million units, regardless of if it
But
comes
that's
out
bigger
before or
than the
after.
PlayStation hardcore fan base, don't you think? Because I mean, that's Heavy Rain sold extremely well, sold really, really well. It seemed like it got outside of that, like, oh, Sly Cooper, I know I like the Sly Coopers, I like the Red Cooper. Oh, PlayStation All Stars, I'll play that.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
got the Heavy Rain got past that. Normal people played that.
Sure, a lot of normal people play
Yeah.
it, but I think that we're hedging our bets kind of on how Sony markets the game.
Sure,
But
of course.
assuming that they just market it moderately, maybe on TV or on the internet, et cetera, and so on, the game will sell as long as it's good.
Yeah.
We haven't even played it yet.
Right.
I'm not sure it means much. I mean, it kind of goes back to the conversation we had about Gran Turismo 6.
Sure.
The rumor, pretty compelling rumor, is that Gran Turismo 6 will be on PlayStation 3 this year. PlayStation 3 this year. Which is very strange, too, if that's true. And
Yeah.
I think it is, but we don't have confirmation on that yet. It's the same kind of thing. Like, there's by that point, it'll be 75 million or so PS3s in the wild.
There's
Like,
an install base.
yeah, so the games are going to sell. Now, backwards compatibility or lack thereof on PlayStation 4 is an issue for these games because I brought up the example of God of War 2 coming out on PS2 in
Right.
2007. PS3 launched in 2006, but at the time, before Sony took backwards compatibility out of the PS3, you could play PS2 games on PS3. We don't have that kind of thing now going on, so there might be some complications, but I'm not sure they're worried about it. Greg, if anything, I think it's them proving that they want to support PS3 and PS4 at the same time.
Okay. I think they're trying to get Beyond Two Souls out the door before PlayStation 4.
What Two Souls?
Beyond Two Souls. You might have heard of it. It's a popular podcast. Here's the next question I have for you. It's a hard-hitting one.
Oh.
Is Quantic Dream going to make that release date?
Yes. I think they will. This game's been in development for a long time. By the
I know,
time
man,
it
but
comes
remember,
out,
we heard about Heavy Rain forever, and it seems like we just started hearing about Beyond Two Souls, and it's been, granted, longer than that. It was GDC last year. They showed the car demo right after that, so we're talking about a year we've known about Beyond Two Souls.
it's funny you say that, just in the sense that Sony typically hit their dates until recently. Like they would announce a date,
Yeah.
and they would hit it for the most part.
Sure.
But then they delayed Sly Cooper.
Right.
They delayed The Last of Us. They delayed PlayStation All Stars.
Right.
So this might be another game. They better get it out in 2013 because then we are going to run into problems with PS4 overhyping these games. People are going to see this game on the shelf. You might have some angry consumers that own a PS4, not a PS3, buy this game, aren't aware of backwards compatibility.
Right.
There are going to be some issues there. I think they hit the date because the game's been in development for so long.
Okay.
So I can't imagine that if they're like, we're confident in announcing this October release date for the game, that they don't hit it. But, I could be wrong.
So talking about marketing, Colin, do you think having Ellen Page, star of Juno, having Willem Dafoe, star of Spider-Man 1, and then as a ghost dream of Harry's in Spider-Man 2, do you think it matters? Do you think that's going to be a big trump card, selling card for them? Do you think they're going to market it in a different way? You think they'll be in commercials? And if so, is that a good move?
Yeah, I think that's what kind of came to my mind, is that they have this thing now where I think they show gameplay, and there may be some similarities of the way these characters look to the real thing, but that is their trump card with Beyond Two Souls specifically. It's like we have these real actors, we mocap them.
Yeah.
You can envision a whole marketing scheme based around them wearing the beads on their faces and how they do this and kind of getting the normal people in there involved, maybe invoke a little bit of Heavy Rain, because like you said, Heavy Rain sold over 2 million copies, which is
Right.
quite impressive for a Quantic Dream game. I mean,
New
that's
IP
the one
too.
that launched Quantic Dream
Intellectual property.
into the atmosphere.
Right.
So yeah, I think they'll market it. I think they'd be smart to market it. But at the same time, if PlayStation only has so much money to spend in the fall, PS4 hits, we think, November, then
They've got to be ramping up by October 8th.
And again, if Gran Turismo 6 really does come out, and again, you should watch the conversation we did, the PlayStation conversation I did with Goldfarb about Gran Turismo 6 and why I'm saying that I think it comes out this year on PS3. And if that's the case, then that's an even bigger game. Then they have all these marketing problems because they might not have enough money to go around. But you don't want to think that they're just like shitting these games out for no reason at the end of the system's life
I
cycle.
don't want to think that, but then I remember all the exclusives they've shit out over the years here.
Starhawk?
PlayStation 3. Yeah.
Twisted Metal?
Twisted Metal, that's the big one. That's the one.
Haze?
Well, Haze, Lair, they deserve what they got. Ladies and gentlemen, We're going to have a lot more on Beyond Two Souls as we get close to that October 8th release date here in the United States. But for everything PlayStation 4, for everything about cool video games, keep it on IGN.